Hello guys, it's your boy the African Cooler and you're welcome to my Premier League Saturday review. So let's start with Manchester United because it seems like Ruben Amorim is beginning to turn his fortunes around at the club following their 4-2 win over Brighton at Old Trafford on Saturday. And now the interesting part of this result is the fact that Manchester United now have won 3 consecutive Premier League games for the very first time under the leadership of Ruben Amorim. Yeah, even winning 2 consecutive league games was a problem for Manchester United throughout the tenure of Amorim so far. But following their win against Liverpool last weekend at Anfield and today's win against Brighton at Old Trafford, United have now won 3 consecutive Premier League games, and Manchester United are now surprisingly sitting in 4th position on the Premier League table, of course ahead of the games that are going to come up on Sunday. But these are promising signs for Manchester United because they have had a difficult time over the last few years, and even this season, the season did not start well at all for Manchester United. But kudos to the guys, kudos to the manager, kudos to the players. They are beginning to turn their fortunes around, and it is interesting because their new signings are playing a key role in this resurgence that we are seeing with Manchester United. Because today against Brighton, Matheus Cunha got his very first goal for Manchester United before Casemiro doubled their lead. But Bryan Mbeumo, who is beginning to look like the player he was at Brentford, he scored a brace. After Brighton seemed like they were going to set up a grandstand finish, making it 3-2 after going 3-0 down, Bryan Mbeumo scored a second of the afternoon to seal the win for Manchester United, making it 5 goals in his Manchester United career so far. So United's new signings are really stepping up to help this resurgence that we are beginning to see at Old Trafford, and it will be interesting to see how that resurgence continues. But in the earlier game in the Premier League between Chelsea and Sunderland and Stamford Bridge, it was a shock result, and this is a feast for Manchester United fans, guys, because in Nigeria, where I come from, it seems like Liverpool and Manchester City are Manchester United's biggest rivals in the Premier League. But bro, in Nigeria, when you come to Nigeria, you realize that there is a different kind of hatred between Manchester United and Chelsea. And following these results today, Manchester United fans are feasting because they are arch enemies when it comes to Nigeria. Like I said, they lost at home to Sunderland. Newly promoted Sunderland defeated Chelsea 2-1 at Stamford Bridge, coming from behind after Alejandro Garnacho had given Chelsea a 4th-minute lead. Sunderland equalized in the first half, and in the second half, in the dying minutes of the game in stoppage time, Sunderland stole it. United fans, now get today because you guys won against Brighton and Chelsea lost. So y'all eating good tonight. But in the other game on Saturday as well, Newcastle stole it at the death against Fulham at St. James's Park thanks to a late goal by Bruno Guimaraes. And then it all laid the platform for the late kickoff of the evening on Saturday, which was between Brentford and Liverpool. And I have to say that for Premier League champions Liverpool, their title defense has not gone according to plan at all. Liverpool's title defense has been woeful, to say the least, guys. It has been woeful because tonight against Brentford, Liverpool have experienced yet another Premier League defeat, falling 3-2 at the hands of Brentford. And this is very striking because Liverpool are clearly in crisis mode now. Regardless of their huge Champions League win in midweek over Frankfurt, Liverpool's Premier League form is alarming, guys. This is pure crisis mode activated for Liverpool. 4 consecutive Premier League defeats, guys. 4 consecutive Premier League defeats. In the whole of last season, when Liverpool won the title, they only lost 4 games. This is just game week 9 in the Premier League, and Liverpool have lost 4 times already. They lost against Palace. They lost against Chelsea. Last weekend, they lost against Manchester United. And tonight, yet another defeat for Arne Slot's side against Brentford. And you have to say that Brentford totally deserved their win because they were the better side all through the game. They were totally dominant over Liverpool. They were totally dominant over Liverpool. They outclassed Liverpool. They outpassed Liverpool. They outpressed Liverpool. They effectively outplayed Liverpool. Liverpool could not breathe on the ball. And I think this is a blueprint for teams that want to beat Liverpool. Of course, Liverpool's form has been dreadful, to say the least. And today we saw it again that this Liverpool team, regardless of all the signings that they have made this summer, I was one of the first people to say that Liverpool are the favourites to defend the title. But as it is at the moment, it's not looking that way anymore. Liverpool's title defense has been a shambles. It has not gone according to plan at all. And Arsenal, I think they're going to be licking their lips right now, because tomorrow they have their game against Palace at the Emirates, and if Arsenal win, of course, they're going to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League table now, because Arsenal currently, I think they are on 19 points. So if Arsenal should win against Palace at the Emirates on Sunday, Arsenal are going to be on 22 points, and that's a huge gap already from Liverpool. That's how the gap begins to move. But Arsenal fans, don't get too comfortable, guys. You should not get too comfortable. Let me be honest with you. You guys cannot be so comfortable, because nobody is talking about Manchester City this season. No. Nobody is talking about Man City this season. And Man City like this position. They like to just, sneak in from behind unnoticed. That's how Man City like to play it. In the last few games, we have seen Man City beginning to look like the Man City that we know. Man City are beginning to look very much like the consistent title-winning Manchester City team that we are used to. So, Arsenal fans, my best advice to you would be, do not get too comfortable, because City as well will be in action on Sunday against Aston Villa, and those are the major games to look out for in the Premier League on Sunday. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next videos. But until then, adios.